And when I started to realize, like, I'm going to humanize this process, it just started to really click to me that this is just like any other business. Humanize it, be yourself, be authentic, be genuine. Don't have ulterior motives. Be genuine.
There we go.
What's up, Paige?
Good. How are you? I'm so excited to finally get to talk to you.
Oh, right. We've been talking for a while. Finally here now.
Yes. Yeah, we've been back and forth trying to get your story out. We featured you before, but we figured one isn't enough, right? Let's get you on live.
Man, we got to, of course.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here. I see some people are joining now. Why don't you start, for the people who don't know much about you, why don't you just introduce yourself and a little bit about you?
All right, guys. So I'm James Leon. A lot of you guys that know me, I moved here from Florida back in March. So I've been here for about 3 months now. And right now I'm campaigning to be Hollywood's first Superman. I am going full head of steam with that. And I met Paige through Instagram, and we talked for a little bit. She definitely resonated with me and the things that we're doing. So we connected, and now we're here.
Yeah, I remember I saw your TikTok. I was scrolling through and I was like, we have to feature him. Like this is the kind of stuff that we want to show. Someone who's creative, an actor who's super passionate and driven about and knows what he wants. But I can imagine that journey has been wild. I know we talked about you weren't always going to be an actor, right?
Yeah, I wasn't always going to be an actor. Actually, I had plans of going to medical school when I graduated from my undergrad in last year, actually. And, during that time, COVID happened. I spent the whole entire quarantine with, I like to say, my Caucasian family. They took good care of me. And then, it was like one of those eureka moments where I was like, it really showed me it's time to chase what I really after, what my goals really are. So I decided to pack up my Jeep and make that drive to California. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
That's great. And when did that decision come about when you decided you want to campaign to be the first Black Superman?
So one of my friends tagged me into a photo. I was at the gym, I was working out. I didn't think much of it, but I looked at it. And the fact that, most of the times on deadline, it comes out that the show is announced, but, they already know who they want as their cast, and they have a general idea who they want. So when, I seen the words looking for a African American director as well as an actor to play the lead role, I was like, I don't know, like that's something. I was like, damn, like that's something kind of. It gave me a lot of motivation, and aside from just the role itself, I think that one of the things I learned about, a young man like myself, psychologically, is that when you have a goal and a purpose towards something, it makes waking up easier. It makes doing the things that you need to do to get there much easier. And as you know, this business is tough. It's tough. It's not an easy one. But with this motivation in the foreground, it really sets and establishes a framework for me to work off of, because it's teaching me not only the business aspect, but also the creative side of it. And it's been very impactful to my life personally.
Yeah, that's super important that you bring up the business side too, because I feel like a lot of people that want to do something in the creative industry, whether it's acting or whatnot, we often forget that there's a whole business side to it too. And it is a business in the end. So you treat it like any other business. Of course, there's going to be some branding where it goes directly onto yourself, but treat yourself like the product that you're selling, and I feel like that's such an important aspect that a lot.
It's such an part. I mean, I like to say, like, there's probably like another Denzel or another really great actor out there in this world. But the part about it is when you have the creative side, it's awesome. But you have to understand, it's like any other business where it's relationships and networking and taking risk. Taking risk also is quite important. I don't know if you ever heard of the Steven Spielberg story, how we went into the Warner Brothers parking lot and he only had a 3-day pass. After his passes was up, he knew that these were the people he needed to be around to get to where he wanted to go. So the next day he dressed up in a business suit, and they just thought he worked there. So they let him in, and he was able to get his break. So it takes a lot of risk. It takes a lot of getting uncomfortable. And those are some of the questions I'll answer when you ask, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's what are you going to do to get in front of the right people, and what are you going to do to be that person? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is such a hard business, and trying to stick with it every day it's hard, it's challenging. But what do you have any daily practices that you follow that help you manifest the career that you want?
Yeah, so I've been watching a lot of Jordan Peterson's videos lately. He's a psychologist, and one of the things I do now is I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. Um, I wake up at 7 a.m. Doesn't matter if I'm off the next day. Doesn't matter. I wake up and I clean my room. Cleaning my room is a mental startup for me, because it's a reflection of how my day's gonna go. So I clean my room. I make my bed. I eat breakfast. I do those tasks, and they sort of set me up psychologically for a really productive day. And I make sure I do these things. And um, another thing that I do is I constantly remind myself that this is fun. To be able to be out here, oh, and I'm perfectly fine. I have a house, I have a car, and I'm able to pick up the phone and call some of these people and pitch myself and talk about their great projects, and sort of intertwine myself in there in that business aspect, that this is fun. All of this is fun. It's not a hardship. You know, people like, oh, like they talk about their traumatic experiences. It was so hard, I couldn't do it. It's like a lottery ticket. No, this is all fun. Everything that I'm doing, every project, every phone call is fun. And in order for me to be able to truly manifest what I want, I have to have fun with it. I have to believe in myself. But besides believing in myself, trusting in myself. Because it's one thing to believe in yourself. Anybody can believe in yourself, but to trust your talent, to trust who you are, your thoughts, your judgment, it really takes a lot of mental work to be able to get to that level, to know that I'm worthy enough to pick up the phone call and call J.J. Abrams and have a discussion with him, because I'm worth it. I trust, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it all boils back down to not being afraid of failure and just putting yourself out there, because the power is in your hands. You can choose to sit down every day and just wait for somebody to come up to you and offer you a role, or you can manifest every day. You can say that every day is a new start and call up J.J. Abrams and get that role.
Yeah, that's really what a lot of actors with agents and managers, they think that they'll let them do the work. But no, it's one thing to get a breakdown and submit for it, but then it's one thing to pick up a phone call and call someone, which I realized that picking up the phone and calling these people puts you ahead by a mile. Yeah. And you have to not only rely on your managers and agents, you got to rely on yourself too. You got to do the research. You got to find out who are the important players in these projects. Give them a call, so that when it comes down to it, the top two choices, and you're that top choice, you're already green-lighted by the production, because you called and established a relationship already.
So, have you ever picked up the phone, like after you submit an audition, and gave them a call? Can you talk about maybe?
Yeah, of course. So there's a project right now. I can't talk about it, but sorry, it cut off a little bit. Okay. So there's a gentleman that I called, and I called him because I was like, okay, my manager submitted me for this, but I'm gonna call him. I called him. I wasn't nervous, but I called him, and he was like, oh, I'm not the casting director, so and so is, and I'm like, yeah, oh, did it go? Okay, yeah, I was like, yeah, I know, but I just wanted to call and introduce myself. And we had a heart-to-heart conversation for 10 minutes. And this is a producer now, so like, if producers are like busy. So the fact that I got 10 minutes, I was like, wow, bro, that's awesome. We talked, I got his email, then I sent my materials off to him as well. And that just for me is like, if I were to say, who am I building a network with? It's with important people that I can say that, hey, I've established a relationship with this guy, and I can tell, you know, my manager and agents like, hey, I've already established a relationship with this person. You know, you can call them. They know me. I'm good. So yeah, it definitely plays an important part into the whole business side.
That's such an interesting point, and something I always forget too. You know, it's so easy to hide behind the screen, especially this day and age with, you know, COVID has forced a lot of things to be virtual.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've lost a lot of the confidence. Just pick up the phone and call someone. And Rob, my business partner with the LA No, he is always saying to me, like, just pick up the phone and call people. The power of the phone is just
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you humanize the process, it's
Yes.
much more impactful. When you humanize things, people,
Mm-hmm.
um, I wouldn't say people, but I think people that are eager for something, or they're so, you know, I was just say passionate as well. They forget that we're humans at the core of it, and if you humanize a process, you make it so that people actually like you. You're like, wow, this, you know, you're honest. You know, I like this kid. And when I started to realize, like, you know, I'm gonna humanize this process, it just started to really click to me that this is just like any other business. Humanize it, be yourself, be authentic, be genuine. You know, don't have ulterior motives. Be genuine. And that's it.
Yeah. Now, would you say, I know this whole journey for you has been insane, lots of winding roads. What would you say has been maybe the most challenging thing that you've come across in this whole journey to your career?
It's for me, it's just getting started. So I can say, you know, I don't know everything. You know, I don't. But the most challenging thing is when you know, like, man, if I get in front of these people, like if they see who I am, if they know my story, they're gonna love me. They're gonna and it's just the fact that you can't, because it's just you can't just end up in a room with Steven Spielberg. Not happening. You know, it's not gonna happen. So, you know, that for me is the most challenging thing, especially someone who's just starting off, because when you just start off, you haven't built your network as deeply, you know, embedded as it can be. So just starting off, you're still just making those little, you know, minor connections. But that's been the most challenging thing, but it's also been the most the fun is the fun part, because it's like, okay, now I know who to call. I call their assistants, you know, I call their assistants. Their assistants love me, and that just gets me, you know, one step ahead, you know, and it's like building my network. So that's been the opposite end of that. Is obviously I can't be in the same room as J.J. Abrams, but you know, I can build a relationship with his assistants, and that's fun, because then you figure out that they're normal people and they like you and they want to talk to you and they want to talk about their projects, and it's like I said, you humanize it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, you built the puzzle of like, okay, JJ Abrams is here. Now, how many people do I have to contact to get to there? And
Yeah,
you just walk your way up
and
the ladder until you get there.
yeah, and you kind of just, and you do it, and you just be authentic and be genuine, and just be yourself, and you sort of just let the universe manifest what you're thinking, what your thoughts are, and you know, that's really what I've been doing, and it's been working. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've heard before people say, if you want to be, act like the person you want to be.
Yeah.
So would you say maybe do you try and act like Superman sometimes to manifest that?
No, I won't lie. Like when I'm in the gym, sometimes I like really, I'm like, you know what? I'm Superman. Like, you know, I really just like act like when I'm in the gym, I'm lifting weights. I'm like, you know, I kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I do. It's as corny as that sounds. You know, I act like I'm Superman, and it's just, you know, I just like, damn, I'm Superman. You know,
Yeah.
but like I said, you know, it it, it's I think what's beautiful and what's so unique to Superman too is he's not just like something that you couldn't be. It's like what every man strives to be. And if you could strive to be Superman, you're gonna be at your personal best, like your personal best, not just Superman, but your personal best. So, you know, when I even the littlest things, if I see trash on the floor, I'm not gonna ignore it. You know, I'm gonna pick it up. Like, gonna pick it up and put it in the trash. So it helps with those little things, like I'm gonna be the best man I'm gonna be, like I'm gonna be the best person. So it's just like if I see something that's bothering me, or if I see something that's obviously not right, I'm like, I'm gonna help. You know, I'm gonna, as uncomfortable as it is, I'm gonna do it. So
Yeah. What would Superman do, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh my gosh. And I guess, what would you say so far has been either the most exciting, most rewarding? What would you say has been the best so far?
So here, like this happened today. The most I get so excited when this happens is when I pick up the phone, you know, and there's a lot of projects going on, and I call the office, and it's always the assistants that answer. And when I'm able to have a conversation with them, and we're engaged in that conversation, and we make a connection, and I get an email, and I get a name, and they get my name, and then, you know, once that happens, it's literally the best feeling ever, because it's like, wow, I just called up this office that obviously is very prestigious, and they fully accepted me. It was just pure, and they loved it. And now I'm going to send them off an email with my great materials. And, you know, with my work, I don't question it. I'm just like, here it is. It's on the platter for you. You gave me your email. You know my name. When you need me, you have my information. You have what you need. Call me. Like, I'm here. And that's the fun part about it, is that I can strip away this need to be someone else, this baggage of I have to be this and that, and just here's my work. I really hope you enjoy it. Hope we can work together, and you take it in good faith. Here it is, and that's just the amazing part. And I another thing too with that is I don't believe in you know, typecasting and people being put into certain sort of stigmas. It's just like I know exactly what I want. I'm clear on what I want, and it reflects on my Instagram, my whatever TikTok, and my reels, everything. It's just very focused, and it's gonna come off as, okay, this guy knows what he wants. He knows what genre he's in. He knows the type of things he wants to be involved in, and it's beautiful work.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm so excited for you. I'm so
Yeah.
excited to see you as Superman.
Yeah, so excited.
Hopefully, let's make this
Hopefully.
happen.
Fingers
Or
crossed.
yes, or whatever happens, you know, I feel like you're the type of actor who you're gonna make it because you know what you're doing, and or maybe none of us really know. We're just kind of doing what we think is best, right?
Yeah.
But you're making steps, and you're doing everything you can to make it happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna happen. There's no reason it isn't, you know?
Yeah, and you know,
Bonnie, I can't wait.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, Bonnie Gillespie, this book I'm reading, she says, you know, it's not what you do, it's the amount of things that you do that gets you to where you want to go. So it's not gonna be one thing. It's gonna be the collection of things you do. You know, the steps, reaching out, the going in network events, you know, the things that you do that ultimately lead to the end destination. But obviously, you know, it's the journey that's the fun part. So
exactly. You know, I remember when I was in school and being so discouraged and worried I wasn't doing the right thing, and just like complaining to my mom, and she was like, well, what steps are you taking to make it that much further? And I was like, I don't know. She's like, well, as long as you're doing something every day, that's great. You know, as long as you're making steps forward, then you're doing it. So I always remind myself of that when I feel like, am I doing enough? Like, I'm not where I want to be yet. It's like, well, am I working towards it? Okay. Yeah,
exactly. And you know, another thing that I've learned is, like, you never can compare yourself to where someone else is as well, because there's no one like you. No one has your temperament. No one has your family. No one has your struggles. And it's the flip side. You don't know their struggles and their temperaments and their family. And that's why when you hone in and lean into who you are, what you represent, you'll find that you might have just taken a little bit longer than someone else, but it was worth it. And it was because it taught you something. So it's always important to know that your journey, and you know, in Hollywood, everybody has a different story. You can take two actors and they'll tell you two different ways of their journey. So it's always, you know, it's always just your story that you're telling, your life, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Yeah. I could keep talking about this forever,
yeah,
but
right?
well, why don't we end it with some final thoughts?
Yeah.
Is there any advice you would give to, I was going to say an actor that's just starting out, but it doesn't even have to be. Maybe somebody
Yeah.
who's just finding themselves in their career. What advice would you give to that person?
Okay, so what I'd say is, obviously, I'm starting out as well, but my mindset is what's so important. My mental sanity in this business, and what I'll say is, understand that you're gonna fail. Like, you're gonna get so many no's, and I know this is so cliche, but people really have to understand the value. And you're gonna get so many no's. You're going to fail. You're going to do something wrong. You're gonna make a bad pitch. You're gonna make a wrong email. You're gonna make these mistakes, but understand that the biggest question of life is, how do we get to our best being? And the only way we do that is by failing, and we learn, and we have these amazing stories to tell at the end of the day, and at the end of wherever our goals are, because everybody's goal is different. But when you get there, you'll have your own unique story to tell, and know that it's okay. It's okay to fail, and it's okay to feel down, and you know the feelings that you're experiencing are okay. You just really got to keep going. You really got to wake up every day and set goals. You have to think unrealistically, and when you think unrealistically, tell these unrealistic ideas out loud to yourself and believe it, feel it, tell it to people that will also believe in it, because you will encounter some people that are narcissistic and are sort of very realist in their thinking, that they will make whatever you're thinking seem much lower than what it is, and it diminishes its value in your heart. And you have to avoid those people. Keep your faith strong. Keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. Keep working on your craft. Keep working on being articulate. You know, knowing how to write and read and getting out a really legitimate message to people. Work on these skills, and you find yourself in a really good position at whatever you do, whatever business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking so much wisdom, and I really like that you share so much and you care so much about helping others too. So
of course.
I'm so excited for you. Thank you again so much for doing this with me.
Yes.
We will be hearing from you again, I'm sure. Why don't you let everybody know where they can follow you and find your social media?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Shinobi James, Shinobi James. You guys can go ahead and follow me, keep up with the content, send me a DM, ask me any questions, and I'll be more than happy to help you. And I'm in your corner. I'm here for you. And I really encourage you guys to take a big risk. Take a big risk and do it with no regrets, because you don't want to fall down later in life and wish that you took that risk. And take it. I encourage you to take it 100% full send. Don't be afraid. Take it. Take it, take it, take it. It'll work out. I promise.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to have to do a Motivation Monday with James.
Yeah.
Every Monday. Let's get you on.
Yeah, every Monday.
No, you're too busy, but
Yeah.
I wish. Great. Well, thank you so much. I'll be sure to tag your socials down below when I post this. But thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too, Paige. Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
Bye,
Paige. I'll
James.
keep you up to date. Okay.
Awesome.